They say love is the most fragile and the most powerful thing in the world. It begins softly, a glance, a moment, a heartbeat, and before you know it, it changes everything. Love is not always fireworks or grand gestures. Sometimes it's the quiet comfort of someone's presence, the warmth of a hand that fits perfectly in yours, the laughter that breaks the silence when the world feels too heavy. It teaches us patience. It asks us to stay even when things get hard. It reminds us that happiness doesn't come from perfection, but from being truly seen, flaws, fears, and all. Love doesn't follow rules. It arrives when you least expect it, in the middle of an ordinary day, and it stays long after everything else has faded. It's the promise that endures even when memories disappear, the voice that whispers, "You are not alone." Because real love doesn't end when time tests it. It grows stronger in silence. It finds its way back in darkness. And even when forgotten, it remembers. This is what love is. Not just a feeling, but a promise. A vow that no storm, no distance, no loss could ever break. Emma had never noticed how the world could feel lighter until Harper walked into her quiet life. It wasn't dramatic, no grand gestures, no fireworks. Just a smile that lingered a little too long, a laugh that echoed in Emma's chest, and eyes that somehow saw straight into her. Harper was different from anyone Emma had ever known, bright, unafraid, full of warmth. And though Emma tried to ignore it, her heart began to flutter every time Harper was near. It started with small things. Harper holding the door open for her, brushing past her accidentally in the hallway, sending a text that made Emma's lips curl into a shy smile. Every little moment felt heavy with unspoken meaning, and Emma realized she was thinking of Harper more than she wanted to admit. One afternoon, Harper caught Emma staring at her across the library. "Hey," Harper said softly, and something in the way she said it made Emma's chest tighten. Emma looked away quickly, cheeks warm, heart racing. Love had quietly begun, not with a bang, but with a gentle, unassuming pull toward someone who had somehow become impossible to ignore. Emma always preferred quiet corners, the small cafe by the corner street, the tucked-away tables at the bookstore, anywhere she could be alone with her thoughts. That was before Harper walked in and unknowingly stole a little piece of her heart. It happened one rainy afternoon. Emma was reaching for the last copy of a poetry book she had been hunting for weeks when Harper's hand touched hers. "Oh, I didn't see you there," Harper said, eyes sparkling, voice warm. Emma blinked, heart skipping. It's okay," she murmured, a small smile forming. From that moment, something shifted. They bumped into each other again, this time at a park, reaching for the same bench. Laughter followed, easy and unforced. Emma noticed how Harper's presence made her chest feel lighter, her thoughts less tangled. Days turned into weeks. Their encounters, though casual at first, started to feel intentional. Coffee dates stretched into long walks under fading sunsets. Harper teased Emma until she laughed freely, a sound she realized she had missed. Emma, in turn, shared pieces of herself, her favorite poems, her small sketches, little secrets she had never told anyone. And Harper listened, really listened, making Emma feel seen in a way she hadn't known she longed for. One evening, as the sky blushed with the last light of day, Harper brushed a strand of hair from Emma's face. I like being with you," Harper said softly, almost afraid to speak it aloud. Emma's heart raced. She met Harper's gaze, her own voice barely a whisper. "I like being with you too." It was quiet, unassuming, perfect in its simplicity. No promises yet, no confessions of forever, just two hearts discovering each other. Carefully, gently, like the beginning of something neither of them wanted to end. Weeks passed, and what had started as small, sweet encounters slowly grew into something neither Emma nor Harper expected. Emma found herself thinking about Harper at odd times, how her laugh lingered in her mind, how the curve of her smile could make even the grayest day feel warm. She caught herself smiling at her phone, waiting for a message, a little ping that meant more than it should. Harper too was changing. She loved how Emma's quiet presence calmed her restless energy, how her thoughtful words made Harper pause and really reflect. The little sketches Emma sent her, the notes tucked into her bag, Harper cherished them, keeping them close like fragile treasures. One rainy afternoon, they found themselves huddled under an umbrella, laughing as they ran through puddles. Emma splashed Harper accidentally, and Harper retaliated with a playful flick of water. Their laughter mingled, echoing down the empty streets, drawing them closer until there was no space between them. "You're impossible," Emma said, breathless, a soft smile on her face. "And you love it," Harper replied, her eyes sparkling. It wasn't long before small gestures became essential morning texts to say good luck, late-night calls to hear each other's voice, hands brushing against each other whenever they sat side by side. Every touch, every shared look, deepened the quiet, unspoken bond forming between them. One evening, as they watched the city lights from Emma's balcony, Harper reached out, intertwining her fingers with Emma's. "I think I'm falling for you," she confessed, voice soft, vulnerable. Emma's heart fluttered. She squeezed Harper's hand gently, her own voice barely above a whisper. "I think I'm falling too." And just like that, love had moved beyond a spark. It was steady now, tender, undeniable, a slow, gentle flame warming both their hearts. The days with Harper had been the happiest Emma had ever known. Their love was quiet but certain, filled with laughter, late-night talks, and stolen moments that felt timeless. But life, as it often does, has a way of changing everything in an instant. It was a rainy night when it happened. Harper had invited Emma for a drive to see the city lights, just the two of them. The roads were slick, and the rain blurred the lines of the streetlights. Emma laughed at Harper's jokes, her hand resting comfortably in hers, when suddenly, a screech of tires, a crash, shattered glass, a sharp pain, and then darkness. When Emma woke, everything felt strange. The room was unfamiliar. The sunlight streaming through the window didn't feel like home. And most painfully, the face she loved, the smile that had once made, her heart race was gone from her memory. Harper's name, their moments together, the love they had shared. It was all lost, erased like it had never happened. Harper sat by her bedside, hand trembling as she reached for Emma's. "Emma, it's me," she whispered, voice breaking. "It's Harper." Emma blinked, confusion clouding her eyes. "Harper, I don't know you." The words hit Harper harder than any crash ever could. She felt her heart shatter, but she couldn't give up, not now. Not when the love they had fought so hard to nurture was still alive in her own heart. Over the following days, Harper tried everything, showing Emma pictures, telling stories of their time together, reminding her of the small gestures that had once made Emma smile. But each attempt was met with a gentle, confused shake of Emma's head. To her, Harper was a stranger, a kind one perhaps, but still unknown. Harper realized then that love sometimes requires more than feelings. It required patience, dedication, and hope. She would have to make Emma fall in love with her all over again. Every smile, every shared laugh, every quiet touch would be a step toward the love they had lost, toward the promise that even memory could not erase. And so Harper began anew, hoping that one day Emma's heart would remember what her mind could not. Harper refused to give up. Every day she tried small gestures, familiar routines and soft conversations, hoping to awaken something in Emma's heart. One morning, Harper found Emma in the cafe they used to frequent, sitting quietly with a sketchbook. Harper slid into the seat across from her. "Morning," Harper said gently. "Mind if I join you?" Emma looked up, startled. Sure," she replied cautiously. Harper smiled, trying to hide the ache in her chest. "I brought your favorite vanilla latte. With extra foam?" she said, placing it on the table. Emma glanced at it, hesitant. "Thanks, I think." A long pause. Harper leaned in slightly. "Emma, do you remember the rainy day at the bookstore?" Emma tilted her head. "Bookstore?" "You know, the one where we both reached for the same poetry book?" Harper's voice was soft, almost pleading. Emma frowned. "I don't think so." Harper exhaled quietly. "It's okay. I just thought maybe you'd remember a little." She smiled weakly. Emma studied her, eyes searching. You really like poetry, huh?" "I do," Harper replied, "and I really liked sharing it with you." Emma blinked, the corner of her mouth twitching into the faintest smile. "You shared it with me?" "Yes," Harper said, her voice hopeful. "All of it." There was another pause. Harper reached across the table, placing her hand over Emma's. "I know you don't remember me." "Not really, but I do. I remember everything about you." Emma's fingers twitched under Harper's touch. "Even the sketches?" "Every single one," Harper whispered. "Even the ones you never showed anyone else." Emma looked down at their joined hands, a strange warmth spreading through her chest. I don't know why, but I feel safe with you." Harper's eyes softened. "That's how I feel with you too, always." Emma looked up, searching Harper's face. You make it easy to forget everything else, even if I don't remember you yet." Harper's lips curved into a small, hopeful smile. "Then maybe we can start over, just you and me?" Emma nodded slowly, her hand squeezing Harper's. I'd like that." And in that quiet cafe, with rain pattering outside and coffee warming their hands, the slow rebuilding of their love began. Every laugh, every touch, every conversation was a step toward a heart, remembering what the mind had forgotten. Weeks of small gestures, shared coffee mornings, and long walks had passed. Harper never left Emma alone, even when it was clear that Emma's memories were still lost. And slowly, something began to stir. One evening, they sat on a park bench, the city lights shimmering around them. Emma was quiet, tracing patterns on Harper's hand with her finger. "Emma?" Harper's voice was soft, hesitant. "You've been different lately. Is something coming back?" Emma swallowed, her heart pounding. I don't know. It's like, sometimes I feel like I know you, like I've known you forever, but then it slips away. Harper reached out, cupping Emma's face gently. It's okay. Take your time. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Emma looked into Harper's eyes, feeling a flicker of recognition. Harper, do I know you? Harper's hand trembled slightly, but she smiled through the tears threatening to fall. Yes, Emma, you do. You just need to remember. Emma bit her lip, closing her eyes, trying to piece together the fragments of memory. The rainy bookstore, the sketches, the coffee mornings, the way you make me laugh. It's all so familiar. Harper nodded, her voice shaking with hope. That's it. That's us. That's our love. Emma opened her eyes fully, tears spilling down her cheeks. I remember everything. I remember you. I remember us. I remember falling in love with you. Harper's own tears flowed freely as she pulled Emma into a tight embrace. Emma, I've been waiting for this moment for so long. Emma rested her head on Harper's shoulder, heart pounding. I'm so sorry. I forgot, even if just for a while. But I love you. I've always loved you. Harper whispered into her hair, voice trembling. And I've always loved you too. Every single day, even when it felt like you were gone from me. They stayed like that for a long time, holding each other, hearts beating in sync, the world around them fading away. It was a love remembered, a love rebuilt, stronger for everything they had survived. Emma pulled back slightly, brushing a tear from Harper's cheek. So we start over? For real this time? Harper smiled, cupping her face. For real. This time nothing can take us apart. And as they held hands under the glow of the streetlights, both knew some promises aren't just words. Some love is unforgettable. Morning sunlight streamed through the curtains as Emma yawned, stretching lazily in bed. Harper, already awake, sat on the edge of the bed with a mug of coffee, watching her with a soft smile. Morning, sleepyhead, Harper teased, holding out the cup. Emma sat up, rubbing her eyes. Morning. You made coffee again? Of course, Harper said, grinning. You know I can't start the day without watching you sip it and complain about it being too hot. Emma laughed, shaking her head. You know me too well. They moved through the day, together like a perfectly rehearsed dance simple routines made, magical because they shared them. Harper would steal bites of Emma's breakfast. Emma would leave little sketches in Harper's bag, and every evening they would walk through the quiet streets, talking about everything and nothing. One afternoon, as they sat under the big oak tree in the park, Emma leaned her head on Harper's shoulder. You know, Emma said softly, I used to be afraid I'd forget again. But now I know that doesn't matter. Even if I ever did, I'd find you. I'd remember us. Harper kissed the top of her head. I'd do the same, always. They laughed over silly inside jokes, teased each other mercilessly, and shared long, comfortable silences that said more than words ever could. Life wasn't perfect, but it was theirs, and that made it perfect enough. That evening, as they curled up on the couch with a blanket and a movie playing, softly in the background, Harper whispered, Promise me we'll never stop laughing together, even when we're old and gray. Emma smiled, intertwining her fingers with Harper's. I promise, and I'll always love you, in every way, every day. And in that soft glow of the living room, with the world outside fading into night, Emma and Harper's love felt unshakable, gentle, enduring and beautifully ordinary, yet extraordinary because it was theirs. It had been 1 year since Harper and Emma had truly begun their life together after everything the accident, the memory loss, and the slow rebuilding of love. Harper wanted to make it special. Emma arrived at Harper's apartment, curious about the surprise waiting for her. Harper opened the door, grinning. Happy anniversary, Harper said, holding Emma's hands. Emma blinked. Anniversary? Exactly 1 year since that rainy bookstore day, and the first coffee we ever shared together, Harper said, eyes sparkling. I wanted to celebrate us. Emma smiled, heartwarming. You remembered everything. Harper nodded. How could I forget? You're unforgettable. Harper led Emma inside. The apartment was softly lit with fairy lights, candles flickering on every surface. On the coffee table lay a scrapbook, photos, sketches, little notes they had shared. Emma gasped softly. Harper, this is wow. Harper laughed lightly. I wanted you to see how far we've come. Every little moment, every laugh, every day I've spent with you. Emma flipped through the scrapbook, tears brimming. I can't believe this is all us. Harper took her hand. It's all us, and I wouldn't change a single second of it. Emma, I love you more every day. Emma looked up, eyes shining. I love you too, Harper. More than words can ever say. Harper pulled Emma into a gentle embrace. You're my home, my heart, my everything. Emma rested her head against Harper's chest. And you're mine, always. They stayed like that, wrapped in each other's arms, the world fading around them. A year of love, laughter, healing, and growth had passed, but this was just the beginning. Together they could face anything, celebrate every moment, and make even ordinary days extraordinary. Years had passed, and yet Harper and Emma's love felt as fresh and tender as the day they first met. Life had its challenges, but together they had built a world filled with laughter, comfort, and quiet magic. One morning, Emma brewed coffee while Harper opened the windows to let sunlight stream in. Smells amazing, Harper said, wrapping her arms around Emma from behind. Emma laughed, leaning into the hug. It's just coffee. You make it sound like a miracle. It is a miracle, Harper whispered, pressing a kiss to Emma's shoulder. Every day with you is a miracle. Later, as they walked hand in hand through the park, they passed familiar corners that had been part of their journey, where they first laughed in the rain, where Harper had held Emma's hand during her first steps of remembering, and the bench where they had shared their first heartfelt confessions. Emma smiled, squeezing Harper's hand. Can you believe how far we've come? Harper smiled back. I can, because we did it together, and I can't wait to see where we go next. Emma paused, looking at Harper with soft eyes. No matter what happens, we'll always find each other, right? Always, Harper said firmly. Through every twist, every challenge, and every ordinary day in between. Always. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of gold and rose, they sat together on the park bench, quiet and content. No words were needed, just the steady rhythm of their hearts, the comfort of each other's presence, and the certainty that their love, tested and true, would carry them forward. Life would continue, with all its surprises and small wonders. But Harper and Emma knew one thing for certain. Together, they could face anything, and love would always guide them home. It had been months since Emma had fully remembered everything: the accident, the lost time, and most importantly, the love she and Harper shared. And now, standing together in front of the small chapel, the late afternoon sun casting a golden glow, they were about to take their biggest step yet. Emma adjusted her sleeve nervously, looking at Harper with eyes full of love and trust. You ready? Harper asked softly, a gentle smile playing on her lips. Emma nodded, her hand finding Harper's. With you, always. The ceremony was simple, intimate and perfect, just like their love. Friends and family looked on as Harper and Emma exchanged vows they had written themselves. I promise, Harper began, voice trembling with emotion, to love you in every moment, to be your strength when you're weak, your laughter when you need joy, and your home always. No matter what comes, I will choose you every day. Emma's eyes glistened as she took a deep breath. And I promise to love you, to remember everything we've been through, and to never let go. You are my heart, my home, my forever. As they sealed their vows with a tender kiss, the world seemed to pause. Everything else faded, leaving only the certainty of their love. They laughed, they cried, and in that moment, all the pain, the struggle, and the lost time melted away. Later, walking hand in hand through the streets, their hearts were light, their smiles genuine. Harper leaned her head against Emma's shoulder. We did it, Harper whispered. Emma smiled, resting her hand on Harper's. We always do, because we have each other. And so, with love remembered and promises kept, Emma and Harper began their life together stronger, braver and forever intertwined, a love unshakable and eternal.